Hi, and welcome back to the 5-Minute Farmer. Today we're going to show you how to store carrots. Root vegetables are one of the hardest things to store over winter, so we're going to show you what has worked for us in the past and what we're going to try and see we can do in the future. So we have used peat moss to store it before and have been successful with that. But with the issues surrounding peat moss in the environment, last year we tried the horse bedding like we use on top of our raised beds. That did not work. The horse bedding just absorbed all the moisture and the carrots got gross and rubbery. So we're not doing that. So this year we're going to go back to the peat moss, and I'll go through the exact process in a second here. And we are also going to try the compost soil that we get from our city, the same soil that we use in our raised beds. My dad actually took this out of one of the carrot beds. So here's the process that we do. So here is what the dry peat moss looks like. You can see how dusty it is. And then here's what it looks like after we dampen it. So you want to dampen it enough that you can kind of squeeze it and it'll clump, but you'll notice that there's not water dripping out when we squeeze it. So here's our moisture gauge. It's between a 6 and a 7, which we have found is a good moisture level to use. So what we've done in this bin, we've just put a layer of the dampened peat moss down, and then we're just going to go through and start layering in our carrots. And you want to give them a little space, don't put them right on top of each other. So we'll just keep repeating this until it's filled up, and then you want the top to be covered like it is in this bin with the soil. And when you store these, you want them in a dark, cool place. 50 degrees Fahrenheit or less would be ideal, and you don't want any light or they'll start sprouting. I mean, you can see these ones a little bit are already trying to sprout. So there you go. These are what they look like when they're done. In the past, we haven't put lids on them. We might try this year to just lightly set the lid on, not click it on, just to help keep some of the moisture in the soil or peat moss. We don't want to create too much of a greenhouse effect. And depending on how long term you're storing these, if you don't use them up, you do want to make sure you keep whatever substrate you're using moistened. Let us know if you have any questions, and there you go. That's how we store our carrots.